Welcome in. All right, let's see. You guys, can you guys hear me on YouTube? I am going to turn these radios down. Welcome, everybody. My name is Fernando, God's Prepared Warrior, and thank you for joining my live tonight. Thank you guys over here on TikTok. Thank you for hitting the screen and liking that because that gets thrown out further and more people can join us live. Thank you, F. Richmond, for joining the live tonight. Thank you, Scott, for the 5x5 over here on YouTube. And boy, do I have a conversation for you tonight. So let's get all the welcomes in. Justin is watching in over here on TikTok. I have a few people over there. Thank you guys for joining me. Scott Hummer is in the house. Salt Miss. Sorry, guys. Salt Miss, thank you for joining me tonight. Be right back. Need to reboot. Okay. All right. No problem. Who else is in here? MS Gulf Coast. Welcome in, my friend. Thank you for joining me. I think I'm sending some weather your way. So, man, it just pummeled us just now. So, just in case you guys, the lights go out and you lose me, with that will ultimately cancel our live tonight. So, my plan is to stay live while all this rain is happening around me. It was a lot worse earlier, but it seemed to have continued to move toward MS Gulf Coast. So I think it's headed their way. There's some thunder rumbling in the background still. So welcome, my friend. Ohio Valley Prepping. Thank you for joining me, my friend, tonight. It was good to be on your show last night. It was so much fun. I loved the conversation that was happening. I just didn't catch who you guys had on, and they didn't have, their face. It was kind of like just, I think, like a picture of logo of theirs. I didn't know who you have. So if you can share that with me here in a little bit. Who else is on here? That's Glenn Anderson. Thank you, my friend, for joining me tonight. And I think that's it so far. Let me scroll back down to the bottom. Chance, that's right. You had Chance. Awesome. It got cold here today. Well, you know what? It was cold here today. I think earlier it was 59 degrees. I'm not sure what the temperature is now because my phone is on over here with TikTok. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. Scott Hummer, Chance. That's right. Thank you, Scott. Awesome. So we just got pummeled with rain, and I have all of my radios out here. There's two. Here's my newest one right here, and then here's my other one right here. All of them were running a while ago, and I'm gonna kind of explain a little bit why each four of these radios were running, because we just had an intense storm system pass through here, and it was pretty heavy and pretty fast. It's been raining all day here, and so the ground is super saturated right now here in Texas. Hey, Bobby, welcome in. Thank you, my friend, for joining me tonight on TikTok. So it was, it's been raining since last week, actually. And so any accumulation here is really, really bad because it just puddles. And so there in our city, there is so much construction. It's not even funny. And so when they put up, and this is perfect example for today, they put up these temporary barriers when they're doing construction, and that's how they funnel traffic through, right? And so because of that, there's no drainage. And so, I don't know who's the engineer that has the big brain that says, put all these barriers here so that, when it rains, it just floods and you can't even drive your car through there. So that was happening today. There were a lot of cars taking those exits and those on ramps that were divided in that way, and a lot of cars were stalling out, and there was traffic problems. There was a lot of wrecks and all that good stuff. So, so I tell you, I had all my radios out because my UV5R radio is the radio that connects to county fire and ambulance, and so I can listen to the fire truck dispatch, the ambulance dispatch, and I can hear what's going on. So there have been several accidents, several building alarms going off, several places that have got that were struck by lightning and caught on fire. So fire department has been busy ever since this storm has gone through. I've been listening to that on this radio, and then on my GMRS radio, I've been listening tonight because we had our weather net and everybody was chiming in on where all of the bad weather was. And so, you know, I keep telling people to get a GMRS radio because you're going to hear all of that and you're going to be aware and made aware of those things that are happening in your area when you connect to the repeater. So, you know, you have to have a license to communicate on that radio, but you don't have to have a license to listen. So send me an email, Fernando. I don't know what to do. Can you help me with the radio, how to program it, which one to buy, and what to do? And I will email you back. God's Prepared Warrior at gmail.com. Make sure you reach out to me and I can help you walk through that process. So let me know. Now, this new radio I just programmed today. Now, I wanted to share this with you guys tonight. I know I'm doing a lot of things backwards, but I'm trying to catch you up to where what's happening over here. So I just got this radio. This is the Baofeng UV32. This is a Bluetooth radio that connects to my phone, and so I got that the other day. I've just been kind of messing with it here lately, and today, check this out. Today I received I ordered the TIG radio wireless programmer. I don't know if you guys can see that there. That's this right here. I bought it off the TikTok shop and paid $14 for that, for this thing. Comes with a handy dandy manual, and I will tell you that this manual is way better than the manuals that come with any Baofeng radio. This was an interesting read, let me tell you, and it actually helped me. So this, if you guys are on TikTok, you'll know that when I show you this, you'll know what it is. This is the TIG radio programmer, and it is Bluetooth to your phone to put all the channels in your radio. And so I did that today with this radio, the UV32. And guess what? When I plugged that in and I connected it to my phone, connected the radio to my phone, and read the radio, and then searched the repeaters in my area for ham radio, in 10 minutes, maybe even less than 10 minutes, I programmed this radio with 40 channels of ham repeaters that are in my area. And within that 10 minutes, I was up and running during the storm, and we're listening on to the channels that were having weather nets, and then people just kind of chiming in about the weather. And so I was up to date with things that were happening on through this radio, through people who have a ham radio license. So I was listening on this because I don't have a ham radio license. I can't transmit, but I can listen. So this kept me updated to things that were happening. He is going to do the weather service. That's the GMRS radio going off right now. that one I communicate on because I do have a license for that. And then I have this other, I forgot which one this is, but this is another Baofeng radio, and I have it for other repeaters. So whatever repeaters I'm not, that I need to pay attention to, I will set this up because it reads twice. So I can set up 2 channels on here that will be played if they come on. And then the new one today, I had scanning. So it was scanning the channels. So my UV5R is the one that connects to EMS and to the county fire department. And so that was whistling off all day. So this little thing here that connects to program your radios, I did it under 10 minutes. So this, I mean, this was really, really easy. It also comes with a charger so that you can charge the device. And best $14 I ever spent. And if you know how hard it is to program a radio without a programming cable, this right here will save your life and millions of buttons to push. So grab that. You know, I buy my stuff. I don't, I'm not sponsored by anybody or anything, but this is a game changer. I got it off the TikTok shop, 14 bucks, a few days, and that came in. Now I can program any radio that I have. I think I have 2 more extra radios in my office, and that are just waiting to be programmed now. So yeah, so I have a plan for all of that. Okay, well, welcome everyone to God's Prepared Warrior Live, and thank you all for the 5x5s. You guys have already been chatting here, and I haven't been paying attention because I just kind of went off on all my radios because we had this storm going, and you know, communication was happening in this house. So you know, I was up to date on what was happening. The storm was passing through. It was nasty, you know, and so thank God that when it comes to communication, I am prepared. So I tell you that because to me, this is like the easiest thing. I'm not a technical guy, but I love to teach people this kind of stuff. So just wanted to share that with you, kind of throw that your way, so that you guys can have access to that if you need help with that. I will definitely help you with that. All right, so let's go to the channel news. I want to share with you the channel news and what's happening. And thank you guys for joining me tonight, because you guys are the ones that helped make this channel what it is. And so quickly we'll go into that because I'm already spent 12 minutes on these radios over here. So YouTube, we're sitting at 1,139 subscribers, and we have stayed there the last couple of weeks, and that's all right. That's really awesome. Over on TikTok, we gained 9 new community members, and we are now at 4,136 followers on TikTok. Facebook, we gained 1 new community member on our Facebook page, and then on our community Facebook page, we remain the same at 43. Over on X, we lost 1 person, and we're at 1,027 there on X. And then over on Instagram, we are at 1,214, and we gained 7 new community members over there. So congratulations, guys. You guys are doing really well and making this channel what it really, really is. So thank you guys for doing that. That just tells me that you guys love me to death, and that's okay. I love you guys too. I won't say it like Mike Tango Whiskey, but I love you guys too. Thank you guys for joining me over here on TikTok. Thank you for being here with me. All right, so I have some news that I think you guys would be really interested in knowing tonight. Definitely going to email you. Struggling with the channel programming UR5. MSG Gulf Coast, definitely send me an email and we can communicate if you want. We can communicate also via phone. I can email you my phone number, all that good stuff. I'm pretty open to that. I just want to make sure that you guys get connected, because this stuff is really awesome. And like I say, it will keep you in communication, and I can show you how to do all that good stuff. All right. Cool beans. All right. So if you are paying attention to what's happening, you will know that I always say on my channel, if you follow my channel, I say all the time, stay vigilant and stay prepared. And when I mean that, I truly mean it, because when we are vigilant, when we know what's happening around us, when we have some kind of situational awareness about us, we're going to know what's in the forecast, not just weather-wise like today, but we will know what is coming down the pipe, and we will be sort of somewhat ready for anything. We can't be ready for everything, but we can be ready for anything that comes down the pipe. All right. So I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about this person in Shreveport, Louisiana, who killed 8 children in a domestic shooting. That happened, I believe, over the weekend, and they found, or they know who this person is. It's Shamar Elkins, 31, is the suspected shooter in the domestic violence attack that killed 8 children aging from 3, oh my God, 3 to 11 years old, poor kids, across multiple locations in Shreveport, Louisiana, early on Sunday. And it ended up where they found this individual and they took him out. So this is something that I've been praying for ever since I saw it over the weekend, and been praying for these families. So just wanted to let you guys know that we should be praying for these families that are affected from this hideous thing that has happened over there. Yes, deceased. Bunch of hole punches. That's right. Yep, that's right. Welcome in, Shelly. Thank you for joining me tonight. So yeah, that was that bit of news. Another bit, this is coming from the Business Insider. It says, what a U.S. destroyer shooting cargo ship's engine out says about how the Navy is handling the Iran blockade. And it says here that the U.S. Navy destroyer opened fire on an Iranian-flagged cargo vessel engine room in the Strait of Hormuz over the weekend because they wouldn't stop after repeated communication. And the U.S. Shot at that ship, disabling the ship from moving anymore. And so they are enforcing the blockade on Iran. So they're doing this. So I think that that move right there is the thing that's going to help, you know, hopefully come to some kind of peace deal where all of this can stop. So, and I think right prior to starting tonight, I think there's something that I saw that Donald Trump had come through with 2 to 3 peace plans or something like that. I haven't checked, but you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys are on top of that. And so that came through. Fernando, I'll email you my phone number, and I want to start a chat group if you're interested. That sounds great, OVP. I think we can do that. Sounds good. Send me that info. So let's see. We interrupt services to offer up prayers. Yes. Yes. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys did that. That's awesome. Yeah, so that is something to watch out for. I think there's going to be some kind of change. Either they're going to come into negotiations, or it's just going to continue to get worse. The next one is coming from CBS News. It says, Trump says he's not under pressure over Iran war deal as status of peace talks remains unclear. So that's where I am on as far as what I've been up to date on is, we're still trying to seek that, but Donald Trump is not worried. I think he is using the stopping of that one ship as, yeah, I'm not worried, right? If anything else comes through, we can stop it. So I think that's where he is, and I think that's why he's saying that up to this point. So he's not worried, or he's not under any pressure about that. But anyway, he's in the White House, so yeah. All right, this next one comes from ABC 13 News, and this was today, this evening actually. 2 unalived, 5 hurt after a planned fight leads to mass shooting at a Winston-Salem park. And so 2 teenage boys are now unalived, and 5 other people were hurt under a mass shooting at Lindenbach Park in Winston-Salem, police said. Gives the child's name here. It says 16-year-old and a 17-year-old died unalived at the scene after being shot around 10 a.m. this morning. That was this morning. 5 others between the ages of 14 and 19 were shot and suffered injuries ranging from critical to minor. Burns said at a news conference Monday afternoon. So they had the news conference in the afternoon. 4 of those victims are female. All right, so this is another situation for us to keep in prayer. These families affected by that, those who have lost their children because they decided to fight and somebody brought a gun. Guys, it's important for us to stay vigilant big time. We can no longer anymore walk outside and not have some kind of awareness about us anymore. You could have been just walking by this park and bullets start flying, and so what do, right? So that's important that we continue to have that about us when it comes to vigilance, right? Let's see here. All right, Glenn, you have a good night, my brother. Get some rest. All right, so let's keep those folks in prayer. This next one I thought was really interesting because it kind of slipped under the radar, and I really haven't heard anything about it other than this post here coming from PBS News. It says Mexico's Sheinbaum demands explanation after U.S. officials die assisting in operation in Chihuahua. Okay, so this is happening in Mexico, and I'm going to read this to you. And you're going to freak out because the president of Mexico did not know that this was happening, and she admits it. Let me tell you here. It says, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said Monday she would demand explanations after 4 U.S. and Mexican officials died in an accident over the weekend, adding she was unaware of collaboration between the United States and the local government in northern Chihuahua. Sheinbaum said she wanted to ensure no laws were broken after Sunday's deaths, which the state attorney general said happened while the officials were returning from operation to destroy clandestine laboratories in the rural area. Now, this one I kind of want to hang on tonight a little bit before we get into our topic, because number one, we were doing some stuff over there in Mexico. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. And the Mexican president didn't even know that these things were happening. But the attorney general said, right, this is what's, shows lack of communication or a need to know basis, right? The state attorney general said happened while the officials were returning from an operation to destroy clandestine laboratories in the rural area. Okay, so that shows that there is no communication, or you were on a need to know basis which I would imagine the president is on a need to know basis. But when you think about it, she is kind of wrapped up in a lot of narco terrorism gangs, and so maybe that's why she didn't know, because she would have probably messed up the operation. So there's that. But the other thing that I want to point out that is important for us to stay vigilant about, here recently, not too long ago, um, we found those laboratories here in the United States. What tells me, and they were Chinese laboratories, right? Those were reported Chinese laboratories. Now, it doesn't say here what kind of laboratory this was, right? That they were trying to um, burn down or explode them or destroy them, whatever the word was used. Um, so it looks like to me that they have been moved across the border, um, out of the guise of the United States of America. But the United States of America knows that they are operating in Mexico. So I think this is something to really pay attention on right here, because at the same time, the Mexican president was unaware. And so, two things that I know: a woman scorned, and then you're the president of Mexico and you didn't hear anything. Somebody's head is going to roll. Just saying. So pay attention to that. I thought when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is like on a whole nother level here, right? Welcome in, VAKA Show and Tell. Okay, welcome in, my friend. Thank you. So that's something important for us to pay attention to. So that came from PBS News. So if you want to search that, you can search that. Later on, I'll put all the links in the description for tonight's live, so that way you guys can go back and check it out. This next one is coming from the New York Times. It says California woman is arrested at LAX and accused of selling weapons for Iran. So it says prosecutors said that I'm not even going to say this lady's name because I'm probably not going to say it right. A legal permanent resident of the United States helped facilitate millions of dollars. Did I say millions? Millions of dollars in arms transfers from Iran. So this California woman was arrested at Los Angeles International Airport this weekend after federal prosecutors said she had facilitated millions of dollars worth of covert weapons sales for the Iranian government. Remember, we have sleeper cells here. Here's one, right? This lady, she's 44 years old, of Los Angeles. Well, she's in Los Angeles. She's not of, it says of Los Angeles, like she's from here, but she's not. Was arrested on Saturday while attempting to board a flight, get this, to Turkey, according to the assistant U.S. attorney for Central California. So we had this woman in the United States who was a permanent resident, right? They have permission to live here. They are not a U.S. citizen, but they are a permanent resident. She has now been arrested, and I'm pretty sure she'll be sent back home and not able to come back. She's not going to pass go collect $200, and she's not going to be able to come back in. So, yeah, it's happening, people. We got to pay attention. It's happening all around us. It's insane. VAK Show and Tell. Yes, it is insane. You're right. She was heading to Turkey. Yes, she was actually getting out, right? Because I'm pretty sure either she already knew that she was going to get busted, or she made what she wanted to make and then leave, but they were hot on the trail. So yeah, that's pretty stinking crazy. All right, here's the next one. This one's coming from The Guardian. It says Canadian woman killed after gunman opens fire at Mexico's. I'm gonna say this really slowly because it's hard to say it fast. Mexico's Tehuan, Tecan pyramids. It's the big pyramids, right? The Aztec pyramids. So this lady was killed, and I think there was several others. One Canadian has been killed, and at least 4 other people have been shot after an armed man opened fire at one of Mexico's most famous tourist destinations, the pyramids there near Mexico City. The shooting that happened there is happening right before the Football World Cup that is coming in June. So, yeah, so something huge is about to happen there in June. A big sporting event that is huge there in Mexico, and you're going to have people that are willing to do this thing. In the live, yes. Yes, Colombian and Russian were shot. Yeah. Crazy times that we're living in. Crazy times. So that happened. So let's keep those families in prayer as well. The BBC is reporting Japan had an earthquake, huge second earthquake after issuing a tsunami warning. This earthquake was a 7.7 magnitude earthquake that struck the northeast coast of Japan. So, yeah, I think that place was evacuated too at the same time. So, yeah, earthquakes are happening. Biblical things are happening. So that is the news. And we're just 1 minute after, right on time for our topic for today. Now, that's really crazy. I've been to those ruins, and they usually have a bunch of military guards there. Yeah, apparently not today. I've seen a video of what it looks like, and I've seen in the videos too the guards that were there. But I don't know. That's pretty crazy. MS Gulf Coast, you are right. It's crazy. Saltman says 7.4. Okay, 7.4 magnitude earthquake. All right, so let's get on with our topic for tonight. I went on a rant when I first opened up about the radios because, I have been in many conversations. Sorry, guys, I had to take a drink of water because I was getting sick, and then I started taking my honey and garlic medicine, and it is going away, but my mouth is still a lot dry. So anyway, tonight I want to talk about this storm that kind of really slammed us. It's been raining off and on here since last week, and according to the weather, we're going to see more rain this week as well. But right before me going live, this huge storm came across. I'm probably going to post that picture on my YouTube post section. So look for it after tonight's thing. Because it came in really, really quickly, and it fell really, really quickly, and it moved out just as fast. So big rains like that, especially after has been raining here in Texas, when it rains, the ground is already dry because of our weather, right? It's so hot here all the time. I think for Christmas, for the winter last year, and this year we've only had a total of 2 days of winter, and so the rest has been nice. Okay, I will say that it's been nice. We've had nice, cool weather, but here pretty soon it is going back to hot weather because we're in Texas, and so it's pretty bad. So tonight I want to talk about why communications matter, especially when it comes to severe weather. So I want to talk about that tonight. That's kind of why I started the live tonight with all of this stuff kind of going off in the background and showing you my radios and how they're all out and they're all active. And right now they're cut off, but here before the live, they were all active, and I was receiving weather updates. I was receiving traffic updates. I was receiving updates on EMS and on the county fire department, what was happening in the area. And so I was being informed by all four of these radios. And of course, on my GMRS radio, we have a weather net that we open up and we put together every time there is severe weather. So I want to talk about tonight how important comms are when it comes to severe weather. I just want to pull that one thing out because we just experienced that tonight. And I want to talk about that because I want you guys to make sure that you are, aware of what is happening in your area. There goes a little bit of thunder. I know you probably can't hear it because it's really, really faint. But I want to talk to you guys about that. So right now, if you're just coming on, thank you guys for jumping on. If you're just coming on my live, we just had some severe weather come through, and here in Texas, the cell was pushing through, and we were under flash flood warning. Those things were active. Roads are flooding. Exit ramps from the highways were flooded because there's a lot of construction here in Texas. I'm just going to say Texas in general. I think Texas loves construction. And so a lot of our on-ramps and our exit ramps have construction going on, and they put these barricades for you to go through, right? But they don't think about putting drainage when it comes to weather. And so prior to me leaving work today, like I said, it's been raining all day. I was seeing video footage and pictures on Facebook about my commute home and what I was going to have to see. And so I made different plans on how I was going to get home. Now, I'm always going to talk about plans on this channel. You should have an evac plan. You should have a get home plan. So whatever that looks like for you, right? So normally I have this pace plan when it comes to going home, right? I have this one particular way that I go that's the fastest to get home on a normal day. Today wasn't a normal day, and I took plan B, right? Because plan A was literally washed out. You need to have those kinds of plans ready, and you need to be aware of what's going on, because I could have been like anybody else and gone the same way, and then I'm stuck in traffic, and then I'm coming up to a low water crossing, and you don't ever want to cross. You always want to turn around and don't drown, right? That's what the saying is. So I came home differently than I normally do, because I knew that way was washed out. So we had all of that. Visibility was dropping. Travel was becoming really dangerous. And I live in a city, so the highways back up really, really fast. And in my city, people don't know how to drive when the roads are wet. Even if it snows here, people don't know how to drive in that. So all of that is happening, and so I made the decision to do plan B for my trip home, and it was okay. And I got home okay. Didn't have too much trouble other than traffic, right? But that is what was happening today. And some people kind of wait until the power flickers to start really paying attention, right? But all day I have been paying attention to the weather, and thinking about from the morning, is my route going to change? What am I going to do when I go home, especially if it continues to worsen? And so they let us go home like 15 minutes early because it was really getting bad. And the cell that came through tonight was really huge. And so that's what was happening earlier, right? So why is communication critical, right? Because this is where our radios become more than just a hobby, or they're more than just gear, right? These things are information, right? If you have them attuned, especially like I do, I have 4 radios, 5 if you count my Meshtastic device. But I have 4 audible radios that give me different pieces of communication, and I'm able to adjust my plan. I'm able to hunker down because of what's coming, because I know what's coming through that, and then plus all the apps and stuff on my phone, weather apps and things like that, right? But radios become more than just kind of a hobby thing. They become an essential piece of gear to, they become lifelines, really. Comms become your lifeline, right? And so, my GMRS radio connects to my local people here where I live. It connects to the local repeaters that I'm able to listen to from people in the surrounding area. Those repeaters actually go way out. And so I can hear from towns around me, right? My ham radio, is for broader weather nets and emergency traffic that is further away. NOAA Weather also helps because it gives you up-to-date information. It gives you all of your weather alerts. All of those are programmed into my radios, and I have access to them. So, I'm able to get storm spotter reports and all of that good stuff. Now, I will tell you that it is good. It's over there. I can't reach it. I have a couple of external batteries that I can connect to my radios to keep them powered, right, along with my phone and everything. And so I also have my Jackery solar power bank that I can also connect. My bigger radio, that's the 6th one that's not connected right now because I have all of these here that are at hand. And so I have the backup power for all of that to keep all of that running for a couple of days if power goes out and I'm out. Maybe 4 or 5 days, I have power for those things. So, when cell towers go down, or power drops or internet slows down, these radios still work. And even in all of that storm that was over us earlier, everything was coming in clear, and people were sharing what was happening around them, what the weather looked like where they were. And so comms give you a situational awareness before danger gets here to your front door, while it's over you, even when it passes, because you can hear those communicating down the line that now the weather is changing over there where they are, and you're like, yeah, you got it, and I'm out of it, right? So it gives you that kind of situational awareness. And this is where you can physically, be on your radio and listen to what is happening live, right? So this is why it's so important. This is why I'm talking about it tonight, because I want you guys to be like me, vigilant to when these things happen. So I already know it's been raining here since last week. We're going to have all this week of rain. So I am aware through my weather app on my phone. I have a radar app, and then I have up-to-date weather information there. And of course, I have NOAA weather on my radio. So I have a constant influx of information that I am able to kind of listen to, disseminate, make plans around to what's happening wherever I am. So if I'm caught in traffic, I'm able to listen to weather, on my radios, even on the radio in the car. But if I want nonstop weather news, all I got to do is turn on NOAA, and it gives me all that information, right? So, you as a prepared citizen need to ask a couple of questions. What is the threat, right? Today was weather, but there's a lot of things that we can prepare for. Today was weather, right? What is that threat? We need to ask that question. Is there going to be flooding? Is there going to be lots of wind? Is there going to be hail? Is there going to be lightning? What does this look like? Because there are a lot of things that I have to prepare, right? I need to cover my car if it's going to hail and I don't want hail damage. Cover my windows, in my car so that the hail doesn't break the windows out. All these things. If you're able to stay aware to that, you're able to adjust and you're able to be prepared for that situation, right? If you know that there's going to be 100-mile-an-hour winds with this storm and you got stuff in the backyard, you need to either tie down or make sure that it's not going to fly across town and hurt somebody. You make those adjustments. It's important for us to be aware, right? Tonight we're talking about weather, so we need to be weather aware. Salt Mist says, I'm curious about the Meshtastic radio. Meshtastic radio. That's this radio right here. This radio right here. This radio doesn't speak. It connects to my cell phone, and I get text messages from other people who have a Meshtastic device. With my app on the phone, I'm able to see all of the devices around me. I can connect with people, and I can text message with this radio through my phone. Now, if cell towers go down and we lose all cell communication, I'm still able to use my cell phone when I connect to my Meshtastic device. And if I have a friend who has a Meshtastic device, I can text them back and forth because of this radio here. So if you have questions, ask me, Salt Mist, and I will answer them for you. Point you the right way. So yeah, those are important too, along with all of these radios that I have. So, it's great because, they all have, the way I have them set up, they all have a purpose. And so that way I don't miss communication, important communication that comes across to me. So tonight, when all of this was happening, I did some recording of the UV5R that connects to ambulance and county fire, and I'm going to be posting a lot of shorts and reels of that information that I took down. So you'll see that later on tonight when I throw that up before I go to bed. And so that's important for all of us to have that kind of thing. Hudson Valley prepping and survival is a great source of info. That's right, they are. I've had a bunch of GMRS, but looking into backups because I know backups are for backups. That's right, Salt Mist. Let's see, what else am I missing here? Yeah, OVP says Hudson Valley Prepping and Vision have been working on a Meshtastic system. So I'm glad you said that, because we have through our GMRS net, one of the guys got into Meshtastic, and he's the one that actually gave me my radio. And so he has, along with a bunch of other people now, and this thing has grown huge. I'll probably put picture of our map, but there are so many nodes all around my area that we're able to communicate on this little radio on our phone. So it's another part of my PACE plan. So I've been throwing out that pace plan video that I made not too long ago. I've been reposting that out so people can see that. So you need to put together a pace plan. Watch that video, and I give you step by step on my pace plan, and you can make that according to your needs too. MS Gulf Coast email sent. Awesome. Okay, good. I'll answer it later. Awesome. Okay, so we need to ask the question, what is the threat, right? For this one, it was, is there flooding? Is there wind? Is there hail? Is there lightning? The next question is, how fast is that thing moving? And so on the GMRS WeatherNet that we had tonight, all of that information was being answered through the person, or through the net leader who was leading that net and watching the radar, right? So you got to ask that question. How fast is it moving? Is this passing through in 30 minutes, or is it stalling and it's going to hang there, right? Because if it's going to stall and hang there, there are different precautions that you need to do in the event that flooding occurs and things like that, right? If you have family members that are at work or that are actually going to the grocery store in that moment, I don't know why you would go to the grocery store in a really bad thunderstorm, but yeah, people actually do it, and that's crazy. Just be aware, guys. And then the next question is, what does this affect first, right? Well, it affects roads, it affects the drainage areas, low crossings, and then eventually it affects the power lines. Why? Because if there's a tree that is next to that power line, and that tree gets so soaking wet that it's so heavy and it snaps a limb, that snaps a line, and now you have a live hot wire on the ground, just creating all kinds of sparks, and anything that touches that wire will catch fire, burn up, or be unalived, whatever touches it. So it's important to be aware of what is that, what are the effects of that first, right? The last question I think we should ask is, who needs the information? Well, for me, it was, all right, let's get on the family chat. Where is everybody right now, right? That's what my wife and I did today. Where is everybody? Is everybody safe at home? Everybody check in, please. And everybody started checking in. I'm at home, and so that was good, right? And so I began to inform everybody of what was happening, and don't go out, right? Stay home. It's going to be crazy. And I'm listening to fire and EMS over here, and all this stuff is happening. That's happening. Thank you. Welcome tonight, guys. You guys on TikTok. Thank you for joining the live. So it's important to ask that question: who needs the information? It's your family. Is it your church family? Is it your neighbors? Is it your team members? If you guys have like a MAG or a mutual assistant group that you meet together, you guys should have that and disseminate that information to all of those people, right? If you have elderly neighbors, you should be checking in on them to make sure that they're okay, right? You should have flashlights on hand, right? This is my Olight Seeker 3. My son bought me for Christmas a couple of Christmases ago, and this is a great flashlight. So you should always have a flashlight or two on hand, right? Because you just never know when the lights go out. So ask that question, right? And check in on your neighbors and your family. Now, what does that look like spiritually for us as God's prepared warriors, right? Let's bring this home spiritually. Storms in life happen, right? They happen in the same way, right? The wiser warrior, right, doesn't wait for chaos to begin. They begin preparing way ahead, right? We stay connected to the Lord. We stay connected to his word. And then we are vigilant to things that are happening in our life spiritually, right? That we can be prepared for, right? And we have to always stay anchored in God. That is just something that I do so often. Psalms 46 verse 1 reminds us that God is our refuge, right? He is our refuge and he is our strength and ever-present help when we are in trouble. So, that's an important thing for us, to know, to be in God's word, right? When storms rise on the outside, right? Like today, there were storms rising on the outside, right? Our peace must, rise on the inside, right? We're going to go through storms in life. We're going to go through those physical things in life. We're also going to go through spiritual storms in our life, and we have to be ready, knowing that the peace of God that surpasses all understanding is the thing that will rise within us as we continue to stay close to God, right? Preparation without peace leads to panic, and we know that. And so, faith kind of steadies you as a warrior when it comes to those things. So tonight, before you go to bed, check your comms. If you don't have comms, email me, godspreparedwarrior@gmail.com. Let's talk about your comms plan, right? Let's see what that looks like, because I want to begin to help you in that area to have your radios ready. So whenever a storm happens, you have information that is coming to you. Make sure you check your batteries on your flashlights. Make sure if you have a flashlight like this that, you just plug it and it recharges, make sure those things are charged. Because I will say people weren't ready for this storm. And I heard it all day today. Where's all this rain coming from? Don't you follow the weather? Why aren't you prepared? I heard a lot of people today, and I left my house without my rain jacket, or I left my house without a jacket, or I left my house, without my raincoat and all umbrella, all this kind of stuff. Why? Because they're unaware, right? Program your local weather channels on your radios, right? Those are important. You can do that. Connect to your repeaters in your area. You're able to listen to all the weather nets that happen. Know your flood prone roads. This is why my plan changed today, because on my regular way during good days when there's no rain, when there's lots of rain, they're flooded. And so I can't go that way. So I have to make an alternate plan. You should have already an alternate plan for yourself to get home, right? You should know where your family is at all times, especially when bad weather is coming. There's a few documentaries on Netflix about the past tornadoes and things like that. I would encourage you to watch, because a lot of people's family members were on the road when those tornadoes hit, and they were in the middle of it all. I'll probably in the YouTube post probably post the one I saw, my wife and I saw a while back, that you can check out. These people weren't ready. They were in the road. They didn't know what to do. The tornado was barreling down on them. It's important to know that, guys. It's so important to know your weather. So know where your family is, and above all, stay prayed up. Always stay prayed up, and and just be prepared, right? Stay vigilant, stay prepared. I cannot say it enough, right? Tammy, welcome in. Tammy says, I do need to program my weather radio. Yes. If you need help with that, let me know. Send me an email. Mine came already programmed. Awesome. Solved this. That's good. Oh, hi. OVP says, Fernando, what classes are you having at the Bug Out Weekend? Okay, so Bug Out Weekend, I have a good thing. So I am going to be talking about my radios. I am actually going to be, I'm going to bring all my radio equipment out. I am going to be doing, my class is going to be on radio, on comms. I'm going to be talking about, I'm probably going to have a 2-part session, because I'm going to talk about the physical radio. I'm going to talk about the components, how to program it. I mean, there are so many different radios on the market. Right now, all I have are Baofeng radios, and they are excellent radios and they work well. And so I'm going to be doing that. But I have a surprise. I will share it tonight. So I have been in contact with a friend of mine that I went on a walk to Emmaus here in my area, and so a friend of mine and I went to the walk to Emmaus, and so our sponsors, well, his sponsor, um, I got to know, and his sponsor is a ham radio guy, and so my sponsor and his sponsor were friends, and we all went together to eat prior to us going on this walk on this weekend, and so at dinner he shared about how he is a ham radio guy, and you know me, I connected with the word ham, and it was it was down the hill from there, and so it's like he became my sponsor. I took him over because we connected because we're both comms guys, right? And so I've been in communication with him, and I talked to him last week. Check this out, OVP. And so he's coming to Bug Out Weekend, and he's bringing his ham radio. And I have a friend in North Carolina, and I'm going to hopefully reach out to him this weekend, and I'm going to schedule a day with him, the day that we are going to be doing this class. And he is going to connect with him in North Carolina and show us how to do that on ham radio and the radio that he brings. So I am excited. When it comes to comms, I am excited about that stuff. So today I was learning new stuff on comms on YouTube today. So I'm constantly learning this stuff, and I'm not an expert, but I have come a long way from knowing zero about these radios, and now I'm utilizing them from what I've learned. So in no way am I in the ham world, they're called Elmers. Am I an Elmer? But I'm maybe a Squire. And I know enough to get you started, right? And to encourage you to keep learning. So I have a ham radio guy coming out for Bug Out Weekend in November, and he is going to talk about ham radio because he's an expert at this, and he's going to communicate with one of my friends in North Carolina, and so that's going to be a really neat thing. Thanks for asking that, OVP. I'm glad you asked that. It's going to be really, really cool. MS Gulf Coast details, only about 7-hour drive to be there. Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to be just send me an email. Well, I'll communicate with you in the email you sent already, and I will give you information on where we're going to be. We're going to be in the Hill Country. We're going to be in Kerrville, Texas for Bug Out Weekend. So that's going to be pretty cool. And actually, I'm going to be meeting with the property owner. We are in April, May, in June. So in May, next month. I'm meeting with him next month so that we can get everything ironed out and ready to go. And in May, I will have more information about the property. And all of you that say you want to go with me, will have that in the email. So send me an email if you want more information on that. Salman says, that's great, Fernando. I know, it's going to be super cool. Tammy says, one thing I have noticed when watching live weather, people park under bridges. Yeah, so if there's a tornado that's happening, that's a good place to be because the tornado can't go under it. It just kind of goes over it. And so people do that to escape the tornado. They also do that to escape the hail that comes with that storm. So it's a good place to be. Sometimes people will lie in a ditch. You can do that too. I really wouldn't want to do that myself, but they say you can lie in a ditch and you'll be okay. I don't know about flying debris, but yeah, so there's that. Let's see, MCOS, I think that's like a 20 1 hour drive from here. Yeah, LVP. Yeah, I can't wait to see you, my friend. It's going to be so super fun. So, guys, if you have questions about that, send me an email at godspreparedwarrior@gmail.com, and I will answer all of your questions. And we've passed the 10 o'clock mark, 3 minutes, and so I want to let you guys go. Feel free to reach out to me, and we'll communicate on on comms, on the upcoming event, and just any other questions you have for me. And don't forget to check out our channel later on tonight or maybe early in the morning. You'll get to see all the stuff that I recorded for Reels and on TikTok tonight. All right, guys, have a great evening. Thank you for joining me tonight. And I'm just remember, stay vigilant, stay prepared. That's the real way we need to be. All right. I'm praying for all of you. God bless, and hope to see you next Monday on our live stream at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you then. God bless you guys.